Hey, what's up guys? It's Luke here, and it's been a minute, but I'm back with a different type of video. So as you can see, I'm here for my Owl Teams games from week 1. If you aren't familiar with Owl, I'll just link some stuff below in the, the description. You can go check that out, but for those who are familiar, it's just not my game that we're going to go over. We got 3, and speaking of which, I've got one of my teammates in the call, so if you want to say hi, introduce yourself, go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm Nate. We'll be over. We'll be going over my team and stuff later.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be recording these games in order of which they were played. So first we got my game against the one guy, and then we have Metro's games. Metro isn't here because he can't record with us because time zones and whatever, but that's all good. And then we have Nape's last. So for our first week, we're playing the Garbage Strangers, captained by Toasty Rex, and my first opponent is the one guy. As you can see, he's a pretty good player. I was kind of nervous going into this, and then I'm just gonna go over my team real quick. So first off, as you can see, we've got Komodo, which is I'll put the matchups on the screen or whatever, but for now, I'm just gonna go get a quick rundown of my teams. But yeah, I have a Dual Dance Komodo with Bulk Up and Autotomized Dual Stabs. The reason I have this over Dragon Dance is because of Gyro Ball Bronzong and some other things. And plus I didn't really need anything else other than Dual Stabs just to go to work. And then I believe this is Fizz Def Serena with Rapid Spin, and it's an Akaberry lure for the Blacephalon too. And then we have Special Defense Toxapex with T-Spikes, Scald Haze Recover, and then this is this was probably the best set I ran this week. Well, it didn't not in prep, of course, but I brought Safety Goggles, Unaware, Clefable with Cosmic Power, Calm Mind, Moonblast, and Moonlight, and this was basically to switch into stuff like his Alolan Ninetales, which he didn't bring, and hopefully bluff the Magic Guard, so that I can lure in a potential Z-Rain Manaphy, which he also didn't bring, and I could just set up all over that and probably win from there. But he didn't bring it, but it's still a good set to bring here, as long as I just remove the Bronzong. So with that being said, our next mon is, I believe it's mixed defensive Mudsteel with Rocks, Earthquake, Toxic, and Rest. And then for our last mon, we have a mixed kind of fast Jirachi here with, I believe, Wish, Protect, Iron Head, Fire Punch. So I'm just gonna start the game right here. So he leads off with Bronzong, as I lead off with my Serena. Let me just slow this down. I knock off turn 1 just to get rid of his item, but he actually has Colberberry, and he sets up Rock, so I'm just okay, I'm just gonna spin as I believe he goes for the Toxic here. Yep, so I believe this turn I'm gonna U-turn out, just in case, just to see what he wants to do. No, I just go hard Mudsdale, as he probably just sets up Rocks again. So basically, I'm just gonna set up Rocks of my own here, as he goes for the Toxic, but that's fine, because I have Rest. And so, something nice about this Bronzong, I'm just going to pause here, something nice about this Bronzong is that since he's Colbert, I don't need to worry about, leftovers recovering. He's already revealed 2 moves, so I doubt his last one is going to be Rest, which is really nice, because this thing can just be chipped down quite easily from my team.
It's nice for Clef.
Yeah. So he's gonna go into his Rotom-Mow. I thought he was gonna defog here, as I just make the double out in my Jirachi. He actually goes for the Will-O-Wisp here on my Fire Punch, so that was a good play. He's actually Akaberry too, so that was a nice bring. So I believe I just go
Although
hard.
lower tier Rotoms are unexpectedly annoying to deal with.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you beat me with a Rotom fan or something?
Yeah, as he goes into he Volt Switches out into Blacephalon, I just make a mid-ground play and go to my Mudsdale as I get that prediction right. He tries to predict my Toxapex and goes for the Psychic, but I'll just heal back up to full here thanks to the Wish. And I don't even remember what I click here, as he goes back into the Rotom-Mow. And I double into my Serena, probably just to Rapid Spin, or maybe U-turn out. excuse me, as he actually defogs himself, so that's nice for me. And I'm just gonna, oh, I rapid spin here, but it's useless. But yeah, I believe this next turn I U-turn out as he volt switches, so getting the slow U-turn here is pretty nice. So he goes in his Ariados is actually go for the synthesis. So I'm thinking, okay, this guy's probably gonna try to set up webs on me, so I'm gonna go into Mudstill and try to get up my rocks, try to force the Rotom to defog again as he does go for the webs. Excuse me, I had a cold recently, so if my voice is kind of messed up, that's probably why. But yeah, I set up my rocks as he goes Rotom. Just want him to defog here, really, as I just go into my Clefable, especially defensive. It can 1v1 this Rotom. Actually, he makes a nice play. He goes for the Volt Switch, and I believe he goes on his Bronzong. Yep, as he's probably going to set up rocks. As I go Serena, just trying to rapid spin anything else away, as he does go for the rocks. I get that play right. And then I just go for the rapid spin here, as actually this turn he's going to reveal the heavy slam. So not having gyro is actually pretty nice, so I make a, I'm not going to lie, I kind of just went Komodo here in kind of like desperation just to remove this Bronzong so my Clefable could win, but I actually just set up here, get the bulk up first as he goes for the Toxic. I believe he was predicting a fighting move, so he doubles out in the Ariados as I set up an Autotomize here.
So basically gets a kill.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm basically just gonna claim my kill here, but actually, as you're gonna see, this Ariados had something else in mind. The V1 actually EV'd this to take a +1 Dragon Claw from Komodo after Rock, so that was really good prep on his part. So I'm just gonna pick this off here, as yeah, the Ariados drops, so I don't need to worry about webs anymore. And he's gonna go Bronzong here, and this is where I just pop my Z close combat and just kill off this Bronzong. And now this is really good for me because my Clefable can just win here, or well, not win, but it still has like a very solid matchup now with the Bronzong removed. As I just go Jirachi here, just trying to see what he's gonna go. As he actually brings out the Hoopa, but I just go for Protect just to scout out what he's gonna do. But he actually goes for the sub. So this is a little bit problematic for me, so I'm just gonna double out into Mudstill. It can defensively take this on quite well as he goes for the Hyperspace Fury, and I get my stamina boost so I can take another one and rest up this turn.
Mudstill's broken, wow.
Yeah, Mudstill was really good in this matchup, but yeah, I'm just gonna rest up here as he goes for the Hyperspace Fury again. And I believe I'm just gonna burn another turn of sleep. So we're looking really good. As he actually goes in the Rotom. Probably just a defog. But this is nice because this just means I have a free switch into Clefable. As he defogs, so I believe I just try to start setting up here since he goes for the Leaf Storm, and I go for the Cosmic Power actually, not the Calm Mind. And then I recover this turn on his Volt Switch into the Garchomp, the Mega Garchomp, excuse me. And then I thought this was gonna have like Poison Jab or something, so I just make the safe play go to my Mudsdale. As I get that, I predict that Poison Jab. And basically I can just burn off my last turn of sleep here with the Mudsdale as he goes back into Rotom. And I think he just Volt Switches back out here. No, he actually goes for the Leaf Storm. I'm not really sure why I stayed in, but I wake up, I hit Toxic, but I miss. Or well, I click Toxic, but I miss. But then here I just go into Serena kind of just like as a sack, because I don't really need it anymore. As he goes for the Volt Switch into his Cephalon, so I'm thinking, okay, I want this to get a Beast Boost. So I believe I just double into my Mudsdale as he goes for the Shadow Ball. Mudsdale takes that, so I believe I just set up rocks here on his switch. We'll see. So he goes back into Rotom. Nope, I make the double into Toxapex. But this is fine because this Rotom isn't really doing much to me, and I can just set up a T-Spike here. As he goes into Garchomp, and this is kind of scary because Mudsdale is at like a little over 50, and it might not be able to take on the Garchomp anymore, but I still go into it. But as you can see, he goes for the Substitute, which is kind of scary because this Garchomp is going to be putting in a lot of work against this team, as you can see, but he goes for the Earthquake, as I Earthquake myself just to break his sub, and I believe this was a roll to kill, but thankfully for me, he Earthquakes again. I live on 1. I get another stamina boost and I rest up. Excuse me. So basically this is really nice, as he just goes back out into Rotom as I double out in my Clefable, and I believe I just set up again here on his Leaf Storm. No, I Moonblast, just hoping to drop this so I don't need to worry about any defogging, as he does defog here. As I'll just heal up here, and he Volt Switches out. I believe he tries to go back out in the Garchomp. No, the Blacephalon, excuse me. Yeah, I go for the Cosmic Power, and I'm basically able to 1v1 this Blacephalon very easily, as I can just Calm Mind up here and then heal the next turn. That should be in a good spot. He actually Flamethrowers again. I'm not really sure why, but maybe forcing me to recover so then he can get a free switch. But yeah, I Cosmic Power this next turn. I can take this Garchomp's Poison Jab quite easily, so I'm just going to Moonblast and kill this here. As he goes for the Poison Jab, does 40, and we pick off the Garchomp. So basically, we just have this Hoopa left, the Blacephalon, and this Rotom, which is at like, does it show up? But either way, it's at like 16%. So basically, all I need is just to kill Rotom with literally anything else, and my Mudsdale can just 1v1 the rest of his team and just win. So that's really nice. But I believe, but yeah, yeah, I double out into Clefable because I can't live a Gunk Shot from Hoopa if that's what he wants to go for. Is I actually get that play right. He goes for the Gunk Shot, but he misses, which is kind of unfortunate. And he's just gonna go back out into his Rotom. This is gonna be quite a continuous cycle, as you can see. But I just go back out on my Toxapex. I can still 1v1 this. He goes for the Leaf Storm. So I can just get up a T-Spike here quite freely. Actually, no, I just double out in a Mudsdale. Not really sure why I did that. Probably just not to let the Hoopa in for free, but he goes for the Leaf Storm again. Still does pretty good damage, so that's probably why. So that probably means the earlier Leaf Storm miss on my Mudsdale was pretty big. But yeah, he goes out in the Hoopa as I go back out in my Jirachi. This Jirachi really isn't useful to me anymore, so I believe I just sack out Hyperspace Fury. Then I just go back out in my Mudsdale, and then I can still 1v1 this Hoopa as he just goes back out into Rotom again. I believe I go for the Toxic, and basically this Rotom just has one more turn before it dies. So I'm just gonna sack off my Serena here as he Volt Switches out. Excuse me, nice play. It was a nice play. This back end is Hoopa. This just means this Mudsdale is super free for me. Goes for the Hyperspace Fury. Does 38. I can rest up on this now. And this Hoopa really can't beat me. So I believe he just I believe he just goes Rotom here. And as I burn a sleep turn, and he has one more turn with his Rotom to stay alive, and he actually stays in, clicks Leaf Storm. He misses, which is pretty unfortunate. But at this point, my Mudsdale can basically just win at this point, unless he like crits me with a Hoopa, or like if my Pex dies, I won't be able to 1v1 the Blacephalon. But yeah, so he goes out into the Hoopa, probably just to click Psychic or something, as Actually, I stay in. I'm pretty sure I click Scald or something. I'm not really sure why. Probably just a Scout. But yeah, he goes for the substitute. I just go hard Mudsdale here as he goes for the Zen Headbutt, excuse me. Gives me a stamina boost. And basically, I just win at this point, really. And I believe he just goes for the Hyperspace Fury. Does only 20, and he drops his defense. And so basically, at this point, we basically just win, unless he gets the crit, in which the Hoopa will just clean up the rest of my team. But otherwise, we basically have put ourselves into a winning position, and we can just rest up this next turn, and it's just a wrap for us. But as you can see, he gets the crit. Of course, never lucky, alas, but yeah, at this point, we basically just lose. To the Hoopa, there's nothing really else I can do. He gong shots my Clefable, kills my Toxapex, I somehow live, and yeah, that's game. So to start off the week, we're already down 0-1, -2, which really sucks, but hopefully we can get Metro to turn things around for us. So we'll be right back for game 2.
I just want to note this. I should have noted this earlier. But the only thing you should know about the one guy is that he beat me with mono ground when I had a melodic. So this guy's clearly on another level.
Yes, that's true. Alright, so we'll be right back with game 2. Alright guys, so we're back for game 2. We got Metro versus Captain Sabasaur. And so basically Captain Sabasaur drafted some hyper offense stuff, and it actually had a really nice matchup against Metro. So I got Metro's team here. I'll just go over it real quick. So we have Scarf Clout with dual water attack, Secret Sword Icy Wind, Scarf Staraptor 2 with Brave Bird CC Return U-Turn, Colbur Slowking with 3 attacks Recovery, Koba Berry Tangrowth with 3 attacks Free Powder. We have Z Magnezone, in case he brought the Mega Mawile, which he didn't, with Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Flash Cannon Sub, and then Haban Flycon, Dual Stabs, U-Turn, Defog. So we're just gonna start this game off. Captain Sabasaur leads off with Zelf, as Metro leads off with the Staraptor. He Brave Birds turn 1 just to get it down to his sash, as Captain Sabasaur sets up rocks, which is a pretty safe play, as Captain Sabasaur doubles out into his Nihilego. And as you can see, that is not a flying resist. Metro just clicks Brave Bird again, and this is actually Scarf Nihilego, so the Staraptor dies. So that's pretty unfortunate. But this just means that this is a super free Flygon here. Shmurda Shmook, Shmook. I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah. Metro just goes for the defog here on his Zelf. I believe Metro just U-turns out here as Captain Sabasaur sets up rocks again. So this is Zelf drop, so we're already tied up 5-5. This game's pretty fast, as Metro just goes out in Keldeo. It's pretty safe here. As Captain Sabasaur actually goes out in Talonflame, since he's at full Gale Wings, it's gonna be an issue. But yeah, Captain Sabasaur reads Metro's switch, goes for the U-turn, out in a Dragonite. I believe Metro just Z Thunderbolts on the DD. Actually, no, he doesn't. But yeah, this Dragonite's +1/+1. But this Tangrowth is able to 1v1 the Dragonite, as you can see. He goes for the Z Flying, but yeah, we're Koba Berry. We barely take that as we go for the HP Ice. Or not the HP Ice, the Sleep Powder, excuse me. But Turtle will go for the HP Ice, as it's not going to kill, but it's going to get 2-hit killed by the HP Ice. So we'll be able to pick off the Dragonite. I'll get a very small lead, really, since this Tangrowth is basically dead and doesn't really have much use at this point, as Sabasaur just goes Weavile, kills the Tangrowth. And I believe here, Metro just goes into Keldeo. Has a really nice matchup now with his resist gone, as I believe Metro just clicks Hydro Pump. So this is basically really good because nothing really switches into the Keldeo now. So basically all we need is just chip on the Talonflame, so it's on the Gale Wings range, and we basically win, as he actually Brave Bird, so he takes recoil here. So now Keldeo is looking really nice here. So as he Flare Blitzes comes the Magnezone. Now Metro just goes back into Keldeo. Can basically click Hydro Pump 3 times, and that's a game, and that's the wrap, as he kills the Talonflame here, goes out into the Linoon, and Metro's gonna Hydro Pump yet again, but he actually lives, activates the Figgy Berry, and Sabasaur sets the Belly Drum, and it's unfortunate. I believe this was a roll, or Sabasaur actually had a really bulky Linoon, so that was, again, some nice prep on his part. Yeah, it was crazy, as this Linoon is gonna pick off the rest of the team. So this loss kind of sucked, but at least it was fairly clean for the most part. It was just like straight up clean, I believe. But yeah.
Still very sad.
Yeah. So basically, we've lost this week, as you can see, but there's still hope. Like if both of our losses have been 0-2. So if Nape can win our last game by a considerable amount, we still get a differential back, which is nice. So we're just gonna get right back into game 3. Alright guys, so we're here with last game of week 1 for Owl. Game 3, Nape versus Toasty Rex, the captain of Garbage Strangers. And since this is Nape's game and he's here with us, I'm just gonna let him narrate this game, and you can just tell me when to pause if you have any thoughts, and you can just start here and just like go over your team or whatever you want to do.
Alright, so if you see I'm assuming Lou's gonna throw up the matchup and things. Basically, my team. I initially prepped for Z Heatran, but then he didn't actually have Z Heatran, so I threw that out the window. So the team I ended up bringing was a Spadef Swampert with Protect and Rocks and Roar, basically to deal with Power Heatran, because Heatran was a really big threat, as you can probably tell, since it took on Zard, and if it was max speed, offensive, and if I didn't have EQ Zard. And I also had Rocks was really useful because it allowed me to get things in range to get a kill. For example, if he was, I'll go over this set later, but Bulu could kill max HP Heatran fighting after Rocks, so Rocks was just very useful in that regard. And the Rocks. Next up, I got Silvally, which I hate this mon, but I brought it because it's D-Fairy, because it was good against Mega Gyarados, which he didn't end up bringing, but it was a very big threat, and it could also deal with Latios case. It had multi-attack, stab, which I didn't actually know until the game. Flamethrower for the Scavalier, because it was actually a pretty big threat, and one of his things to deal with. We'll also, just have that just in case he brings it. T-Wave because it's T-Wave, and deals with Gyara, and Parting Shot. It's Parting Shot. Third mon is Tabulu with the Z-Fight with Hornly 2 powers and Swords Dance. It's Spadef to deal with Latios mainly. It can also take an I want to say it can take an offensive Magma Storm or Lava.
Yeah, I think it's a Lava Plume that it was EV to take.
Right, that makes sense. And then, as I said, after Rocks, it could kill a Heatran with max HP, and if he wasn't max, just kill straight up with Z-Fight. And next, Zardex with enough speed to outspeed Mega Gyara, max speed Mega Gyara, Jolly Mega Gyara, with Declaw Flare, but EQ and DD. Basically, if Donphan is weakened and Heatran wasn't shook, then this team basically got up a DD. Oh, and Latios Scarf. Then this team basically got up a DD, and because he
it can just clean up at a point.
Then Crobat with a utility set, Brave Bird, U-Turn, Roost, Defog. This was basically just switching to some things like, I EV'd it so that it takes 2 waterfalls from Jolly Gyarados. It can beat Florges. It can take some other hits, and it has really high speed, so it outspeeds everything on his team besides Aerodactyl if you brought it. It didn't, which is good. It also had enough attack to 2 KO Latios, regular Latios from Brave Bird, which was handy. And finally, a Grassy Seed, Unburned, Acro, High Jump Kick, Roost, Swords Dance, Tapu Lucha, which basically destroyed his entire team. It was a red card Donphan. And that's about it.
Alright, I'll just start the game here, and you can just commentate. Tell me when to pause if you have any thoughts or whatever. There we go.
Okay, so I let off with Crobat because it beats everything, or not beats, you can U-turn out on anything. But fearing that he was Scarf Latios, I decided to switch it to my Bulu. And I didn't want to take this Will-O-Wisp on his Dusknoir, so I just went into my Silvally, since it's pretty useless considering he can bring Gyarados. And then I Parting Shot on the Heatran, which reveals to be Balloon, which means it probably can't touch Swampert, so I can just get rocks up here, which are really nice. But I just go into my counter, Bulu. I see Defog's here, which tells me he's probably not Scarf. I know he's not Scarf considering my thingy, my Crow Battle Speed switch out to one. But then he goes for the Luster Purge, which I didn't know this move existed until now. But it turns out to be pretty annoying for me.
Yeah, you'll see later.
Yeah. And I'm scared of the Seed Bomb here, so I go into Bulu because I know he's not going to Gunk Shot there. But he goes for rocks. And now I'm fearing the Gunk Shot with the Sturdy. So now I'm going into Swampert. I don't know why I really thought this was an offensive Donphan. It just made sense.
No, that was fine. That was fine. You were safe there.
But I think I go for rocks here, just getting him up.
Yeah.
Which is useful. And Dusknoir coming is like annoying. Like, I'm not really sure what to do versus it, considering you can just Lewis almost all my team, and that's annoying for all of them. Probably should have prepped more for this thing, but we can deal with it.
Yeah, hindsight's 20/20 anyways.
I think I just Thunder Wave here because it's basically killing this Dusknoir.
Yeah.
It's now not a threat.
Yeah, it could come in handy later, possibly.
Maybe. Or maybe not. I think a Parting Shot here.
Yeah, you Parting Shot here in his Donphan.
Probably going to Bulu.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Probably just to prevent him from spinning or whatever. And plus it's just free here anyways.
And then I just go Hornleech, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. And that reveals that he's a super bulky Latios. Which really freaked me out.
Yeah, so this basically...
With Shadow Ball. So like a utility Luster Purge Shadow Ball probably than Defog Latios.
It's honestly a really good set, and it put in like a lot of work this game. Like
I didn't expect it, but
yeah, I don't think any of us were expecting it, so that was definitely really solid on his part.
Good prep. Since Luster Purge has a 50%.
But yeah, Nape just sacks the Silvally here to the Shadow Ball.
Yeah, I just need and then I go back into because I do the calcs and
you haven't revealed Synthesis yet on this Bulu either.
No.
As it actually goes Heatran when he already knows that this is the superpower Bulu. So I believe he tries to play around that as Nape just doubles out in a Swampert. It's the safest play for him to do.
I really want to click Hornleech there, man.
Yeah, I feel you.
Unfortunately.
This Dusknoir goes back up to full after rocks, goes for the Willow, and then I believe Nape just...
I just want to get it out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I just roar, get it out.
This Latios comes back in, probably just to roost up, honestly. As Nape can just go Bulu here quite freely.
I think I Synthesis here.
Yeah, I believe you do too.
Should have Synthesis there, but whatever. Hindsight.
Yeah. But Toasty just stays in with his Latios against his Bulu. And he just
I'm hoping to...
Yeah.
Luster's Purge, if you don't know about it, because I didn't know about it.
It has a 50% chance to drop special defense.
Yeah, and it only has APP, so I'm hoping to PP stuff. He crits me there, but I can. It's a roll in my favor to live this next Luster Purge, so I just stay in and go for the Synthesis, and I can beat this thing with enough SD, provided it doesn't get a million Spadef hit or Spadef drops, which I mean it is Luster Purge. But strangely enough, he gets a Spadef drop, Shadow Ball, which.
Yeah, something you're gonna find out in this game is that Luster Purge was actually, I'd say, quite easy to be able to PP stall out of this Latios, which forced him to click Shadow Ball a lot, which wouldn't be doing as much as the Bulu, but as you can see, he's been getting lots of Spadef drops with the Shadow Ball as opposed to Luster Purge.
Now, unfortunately, Boo's in range of another Luster. So I'm forced to switch out, and I don't really have any good switch-ins. And I want to go something that won't allow him to roost up. So I just sack my Crobat. It's not really needed, and I knew we could take that Luster Purge. Did the cows. And I think I U-turn here. Yeah. So now Bat is basically a free sack. Back into Boo. If I'm a man here, I go for Z-Fight. But I think I just Synthesis or... I should have Horn Leech there. But, it's like... And now, basically, it's back. The battle is starting again. I'm Swords Dancing. He's Luster Purging and Shadow Balling. Trying to get that. Those Spadef drops.
Yep, this Boo can just set up all over the Latios. So it's really nice.
Especially since he's running out of Luster Purges. Mm-hmm. And then a Horn Leech does a million. But I think I see Fight here. No, I Swords Dancing. I see Fight eventually. It'll do, yeah. Alright. Yeah, another Horn Leech. Now he's in range of a 2 KO, so I know he has to switch. So I just...
Yeah, he sacks his Forges here.
And now, the Beast comes in. This thing, I didn't prep for it at all. And it's a monster. I knew it gets gunk shots, so I switch, or sack Crobat. And then, I knew he has Bullet Seed, so I need to play around this thing, or protect first to just make sure that he's not banded or something. If he was banded, this would have been much simpler.
I don't think he would be saying it if he was banded.
So I make a play. Basically my plan is get Hawlucha in on this thing, with saving as many Pokemon as possible. So that forces me to.
But as you can see, Nape goes into no counter Zardak. Shout out the Birdman, but the legend.
Nobody's gonna get that joke.
No one's gonna get that joke, but it's okay.
Oh yeah, I was just hoping for a miss there.
Yeah, but that's
which would have won me the game probably. Yeah, so I basically go into Hawlucha on the gunk, take 31%, and get poison, which is amazing.
Yeah, we actually thought this was going to be quite annoying, but as you'll see, this just means that if the Dusknoir comes in on us, it can't get Will-O-Wisped, and we can basically set up on it.
And that poison is going to come into play key moment. One key moment in particular. If I got poison instead of burned.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up when it comes up. And because I'm at +1 defense, because of the Grassy Seed, I can beat this Dusknoir pretty easily too.
So basically, Roasty's or not Roasty, excuse me, Toasty is basically just letting this Hawlucha essentially just set up in front of it, which is again really nice.
If I get enough attack or setup, I can kill that Donphan.
Yeah, I believe all you need is another SD, and you kill Donphan after rocks.
And I just want to point out, remember that poison takes off 12% and burn 6%. That'll be really important later on. So he Shadow Sneaks, trying to crit me. I just can keep on roosting. Now he goes to Donphan, and I set up enough so where I can just kill this thing with a high jump kick. I think I go for acrobatics here because I didn't want.
Yeah, Acro. I'm pretty sure Acro killed. Yeah, it does.
Oh, it did. Okay.
I think you just needed. You needed to be +2 in order for HJK to kill. But yeah.
Okay, now here comes the pivotal moment. I'm gonna roost here because I know he can't kill me, and I wanted to scout for the protect. And in case he went Dusknoir, wait, can you pause here?
Yeah, he goes into he clicks Acro predicting the Dusknoir, but Toasty Rex stays in. Nice play. Goes for the Lava Plume, gets Hawlucha very low.
Now, I don't know how. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I got burned instead of poison,
Yeah.
then I wouldn't have taken that damage from poison, which means this Shadow Sneak wouldn't have killed me.
Yeah.
But it's basically over now, unless I dodge the gunk shot.
Yeah.
So that's when it's
That's like
If you could just-
Nape's only saving grace at this point. But he just clicks Sword Stance a couple of times here as Toasty just pops for the Will-O-Wisp. Just sacking his Dusknoir because this Chinchino can basically win at this point, provided he lands the gunk shot, of course. So hopefully if there is justice in this world to make up for us losing to the crit game 1, maybe we can get the gunk shot in this. We'll see.
It's all up to that. Just gotta wait.
Yes, the Ice Punches here doesn't do much, and Nape can just pick off this Dusknoir with another Horn Leech. As he actually goes to the Shadow Sneak, gets paralyzed. Pretty sure that's the only time he got paralyzed.
If you got paralyzed,
I might have been wrong.
The Shadow Sneak for chill.
But yeah, here's the all-important moment, the Destroyer of Worlds, and then we have Bulu and Swampert.
Come on. What's gonna happen?
He
of course he hits.
unfortunately lands the gunk shot. So we're never lucky, but that's alright because our games were they're very close games.
They're close.
Yeah, so this can easily be brought back as this Chinchino
can bring it back
pick off the Swampert. Kind of unfortunate, but hey, you live and learn. But yeah, that's gonna be week 1 for Clout 9. Wasn't the best week. I mean, we got swept, but hey, there's 9 weeks left. Yeah. There's 9 weeks left. It's a 10-week season, so and plus it's very hard. Yeah, plus it's very hard not to make playoffs because only the bottom 2 teams in each division don't make it. But yeah, hopefully.
So what Luke's trying to say is that we can win the entire, which we will do.
Yeah.
Make no mistake.
Yeah, but hopefully we can bring this back next week, and I will catch you guys next time. See ya.
See ya.